One. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Gamers Lounge podcast. My name is John Meadows. With me, as always, Nathaniel, Eric, and Robert. How's it going, guys?
What's up, guys?
Going pretty good.
Nothing much. Just, reporting fake news on fake news outlets because we need to be fake.
Yay!
That's what makes us real, right? When you're fake, it makes you real. This is what I have learned this week.
I feel like I missed something.
Really?
I see no flaw in your logic.
I don't see any flaw in that at all. It works for everybody else, so, I mean, why not, right? Yes? No? No?
It's like,
I thought we were a weather channel.
Oh, well, we could be.
yeah, what's with all this news crap?
Yeah, really.
We do fake weather here.
Fake. You might as well. It feels like fake weather. Good God. Pick something and keep it.
Raining one day, snowing the next day, 75. 2 days later.
Weather roller coaster.
Yeah, I like weather roller coasters. It's better than real roller coasters. I don't like real roller coasters. It feels like fake weather.
Oh man, I love
Good God.
roller coasters.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about all that.
I don't know. I don't like real roller coasters. They make me sick. I get motion sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a reason not to like them.
That's why I don't like roller coasters.
Take some Dramamine.
Yeah, well, that doesn't even help me. It's a whole heights thing. I'm terrified of heights. You get me on a ladder with snakes, oh my God, it's over.
How often have you been on a ladder with snakes?
I don't want to talk about it.
There has to be a
only,
ladder going up, not a ladder going down.
yeah, there's only two things in the world that I hate: is snakes and ladders. I don't like and heights. I don't like heights.
So you really, really hate that board game?
Yes.
Like
yes.
Chutes and Ladders is just no.
No.
None of that.
None of that crap. No. And then you throw something with snakes in there, and that's it. I'm out. I'm done. I gotta go.
That's probably the knockoff version of that board game is Snakes and Ladders.
I think there is one. I swear I played it.
Probably.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's always some kind of cheap, Chinese or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
That's the one you find in the dollar store.
Yeah, exactly. That would be hilarious. Yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about what I'm afraid of. We're here to talk about games.
Are you sure? I think we have a nice tangent going.
We could. I mean, we could make it nothing but an hour about trying to figure out why I'm allergic to, But no, we want to talk about what we've been playing and some news. I haven't been playing much, so if somebody else wants to go on before me, mine's pretty boring.
I haven't been playing much
You've been
either.
playing a lot.
Go ahead, Eric. What you been playing?
Dishonored 2, and that's it. I've been really busy with work, so it's the only. I'm almost done. I'm about halfway through the second to last mission.
So have you gotten to cracking the slab yet?
Mm-mm.
The mission called Cracking the Slab with the gadget. They sort of showed it off in one of preview stuff.
Oh yeah. I know.
You only get it for that level, and you don't have powers for that level. It's my favorite one in the entire game.
I kept thinking about how much I wanted to use that gadget in the mansion. Actually, I was like, oh, that'd be so handy.
It's basically a gadget. You only get it one time for this one level, and it does something really, really cool that would totally break the game elsewhere, but that level is designed for it. So they take away all of your active powers. You still keep all your passive stuff like double jumps that you get. But it makes that whole level feel completely different than some of the other stuff you've played.
Did you try playing powerless?
I have not. I can know from playing the game that it would make it way harder.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
I would.
Yeah,
think
no, that's a fun gadget. Spoiler alert. What did you do at the end of that mission? Did you decide to? You're playing non-lethal, right?
I did play non-lethal. Yeah, I finished Dishonored 2 quite a while ago. So I'm trying to remember what did I do.
Well, you get an option at the end. You can kill or knock the person out. Or leave them alone.
Okay, it's not really the end of what I think of the end of that level. It's more like the middle.
Yeah.
You still have to get out and stuff after that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good game. I think I've actually maybe enjoyed it more than one. I think I got frustrated with one like halfway through and I gave up on stealth. And this one I haven't given up on stealth yet. I've been doing really good. I'm not going to get a non-kill playthrough because I accidentally killed somebody like in the first or second level. That was like kind of like one of those things where they were unconscious and something happened. Like, they got mauled by an animal.
I can see liking Dishonored 2 better than Dishonored 1 because they did a lot more with variety in 2 with the level design. So each level has its own sort of flavor, just layout different than where Dishonored 1 has a few of the levels. You just can't pick it out as much as on your own, like this one you can. You're like, oh, it was that one where I was doing this in this place, or this, I was doing this here. Dishonored 1 just feels like a big string together where there's a few little things in there, but a lot of it just kind of blends where it's all like, oh yeah, it's that thing that looked like that other thing.
And finally, when I finish it, I'll go back to try to finish Resident Evil Revelations 2, or maybe go play the Uncharted collection for PS4, and probably finish Tomb Raider before March comes, and tons of other games get dumped on my lap, and more stuff gets added to the backlog. But that is all that I've been up to. How about you? Looks like you've been playing a lot, Nathaniel.
Oh, I never play a lot. I don't have tons to talk about on the show. What are you thinking? I should have listed it out separately because I have been playing the Nathan Drake Uncharted collection. I have finished Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2 and started Uncharted 3.
Wow.
I really like Uncharted 2.
That's
That
crazy.
is a
Yeah,
solid game.
2 is probably my favorite.
Well, since I've played them all before, it's not like I get stuck on the puzzles really, other than it's like, what was it? Oh yeah, I have to do this, this, and this. So
I remember 1 on the PS3 and being like, wow, this is what, a next generation game looks like. And I was blown away at that time. That's a good game.
like when I played it on PS3, I played Uncharted 1 shortly before Uncharted 2 came out, because that's when I got my PS3, was right before Uncharted 2 came. And so I had it like maybe a month or two before it came out, and of course I had to get Uncharted to play the first one. But yeah, this time around it's interesting playing them back to back, because you notice how much of a difference there is between the two games and how big of a jump it actually was. Because with Uncharted 2, you think back on that and you think of all the cool moments that you're actually going to play in, where it's like you're on the train level that's all moving around, you're hanging off the cliff at the very beginning of the game in the train and jumping around all up in that. You have where the helicopter's chasing you through that one city, and there's a time where you're in the building as it's sort of falling and this floor is slanted and there's all this stuff going on. In Uncharted 1, there's none of that. You have all this big spectacle, but you're not playing it, which I thought was interesting this time around. And also, Uncharted 1 has a lot more of go 2 feet, have 20 guys come out of random closets at you, go 2 more feet, hey, look, here's some more of their buddies. Like, you barely moved from one doorway to the next, and there's just so many guys dumping at you. There's a couple of moments in Uncharted 2 that are kind of like that, but not nearly as bad as the first game as far as just dumping tons of guys. It's just like you shoot a bunch of them and then more just keep coming in, and you're like, is this going to end at any time soon? I mean, I know what shooting guys is like.
I'm trying to remember what the end of the Uncharted 2 was like.
Uncharted 2 is you get to Shambhala, and there's the guardians, I think they call them there, and you have the one guy that you have to fight, and there's all the weird blue explosive resin and stuff.
That's right.
Is 3 the one where like you're in the city and at the very end it's like just falling apart and everything, and there's a fight?
It's a desert.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Uncharted 1 is got some good moments in it that are really cool that I remember when I get there. I was like, oh yeah, I like that part. And then there's some parts that I was like, oh yeah, I didn't like this part.
Like dark, you had to
like the jet skis. The couple times you're on the jet skis in that game, conceptually it's like, oh, it's cool, I get to drive a jet ski. Yeah. But the controls are just like you're either moving not anywhere or at full speed ahead, and it's really hard to steer around while guys are shooting at you and a rocket comes around. So you have to be really careful with it. It's like, conceptually this was cool, but And then later at the very end, the stupid final boss fight, that's all just a quick time event where you finally get to the guy and he has like a shotgun and your gun is gone and you're hiding behind one crate and you have to wait for him to shoot twice and then roll to the next one so that he blows up the first crate. Same thing with the second crate, goes to the third crate, and then that one he gets it destroyed on the second shot that you can run up to him, but you have like a bare split second to get there and hit a button. Then it goes into a little bit of a cutscene and the shotgun goes across the helipad you're on, the guy dies after it, and then you have control again. You have to run at him and hit the punch button way before you actually are in range. So it kept screwing me over. I had to do that like at least 12 times in a row because I doubted it. I was like, wait, I can't be doing this right. I have to be doing something else. But no, anywhere you go on there, you just get automatically killed, shotgunned by this guy. And it's like, oh, this is so frustrating. I just want to do this because it's the cutscene after this at the end of the game.
Yeah, I'd forgot about that. It's been a while since I'd
played it. there's way more just frustrating parts of 1. It's still a good game though.
Yeah.
And then 2 has its frustrating parts as well that I had sort of forgotten little bits of. Just here and there, more towards the end of the game than the beginning, because the beginning of the game just is a nice, crazy ride. But once you get kind of up into the mountains, and they start throwing some of the stronger enemies at you, especially the like supernatural enemies that you get, or the ones that you think are supernatural at first, and then they're not really, but then maybe they are.
Yeah.
I really like
they're
like
bullet
the co-op.
sponges.
Yeah, I like the co-op in Uncharted 2. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Played a lot of that back in the day, and you can't do that with the collection, right?
No, it's just the campaigns.
Just the campaign. Okay, I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah, and then I've started Uncharted 3, and it's fun seeing kind of the graphical differences as well, because they've sort of upgraded textures, but it still doesn't look like, it's not like The Last of Us Remastered where they really put a lot of work into it. It's just kind of bare minimum that they did for these. And so 1 is still doesn't look as good as 2, and then 2 doesn't look quite as good as 3, although the jump between those two isn't quite as much. But you can still tell the difference. When I started up 3, I was like, oh yeah, this one did look a little bit better. That one I made it in just sort of for the first little section, and I'm off at the start of the level where you end up getting into the chateau in France, I think it is, that ends up burning down at the end of that level. That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm at the very, very beginning of 3.
That was such a pain to get through the first time.
Yeah, I remember I played Uncharted 3 only once, and the thing I remember the most from it has a lot of those running either towards or away from the camera moment, sequences, I guess, where you have to go the right way or else you'll fall off to your death, or the person will catch you, or you'll burn to death in fire. Yeah. And it was a lot more frustrating than anything in 2.
Yeah, it really was, because every time I turn a corner, that's the wrong way, I'm on fire. Oh, that's the wrong way, he caught me. And I was just like, which way do I need to go?
Yeah, there's a little bit more stop and start with that one. I did better this time at the beginning section of that game where you're playing as Kid Drake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to run across the rooftops to get away from a whole bunch of dudes in suits with sunglasses that are trying to get you. And you have to run exactly the right way or they'll catch you. I did better this time because I remember the first time when I played the game, I was just like so frustrated at that section. But this time I was like, oh, okay, this is more what it's like when it flows better. I don't know if I just was lucky or I'm just better at the games now or what. I don't know.
Yeah, 4. Yeah. Have you played 4 yet?
Oh yeah, I finished 4.
Okay,
Talked about it on the show. This is making me appreciate 4 even more on how much they polished all the little things away.
It's easy to take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Going back and playing all these now, Uncharted 4 is the best one, hands down, because it was already that way with the story. I love just what they've done with the story. It's way deeper than the other ones. They have all the little banter and character moments, but it's not quite as... Well, it doesn't have anything to say as much in the older ones. Like Uncharted 2 is just kind of a fun romp, but it doesn't have that much to say, whereas 4 definitely has a lot to say about getting older and all this other stuff that comes into it that's partly built up from the 3 games, but a lot of it's just self-contained within 4.
Right.
Because, his brother didn't exist until 4.
Right.
And they managed to make it feel like he had, sort of. They did a great job with that game. So I'll probably replay that one at some point after I finish these. Who knows? We'll see. I've just been kind of in that adventure game Uncharted mode. That seems kind of fun. When I haven't been doing that, I've been playing a ton more of Stardew Valley.
I almost sat down and started to play that the other night, a couple weeks ago, and for some reason I didn't. I don't remember why. Something came up. I went to bed. I don't know.
That game is insane because I'm over 80 hours in, and I keep finding little new things that I hadn't seen before in there. There's just so much stuff to discover. But finally, I did the thing that you ostensibly is kind of the part of the game to do, where you have this broken down community center that you're trying to repair by doing a bunch of various tasks. So I completed that. It's all brand new looking, and I've also made over 1 million gold.
Holy crap.
With my farm over two in-game years, basically. So I've played a lot of Stardew Valley.
Gosh, yeah, it sounds like it.
It's just such a good, relaxing game to where if you just need to like chill out for a while and be like, all right, I don't want to think about anything. I just want to do some farming or go do something random in town, go fishing or whatever, and not have to think about the world. And just totally lose 3 or 4 hours in a row, just like play Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I hear you can just get lost in it, like you were saying, and hours and hours will pass, and there's enough stuff for everybody.
The reason that it does that, I think, is it does a good job of the way like it saves at the end of every day, and by the time you get to the end of the day and you're going to bed, like sleep till tomorrow, you're like, yes. When you get to that point, you have at least 2 or 3 things that you're like, ooh, I want to do this to finish this thing that I've been working towards. So it just keeps you, drip feed going. I've got to play just one more thing,
Yeah, those are always the worst games. Well, if I just do this one more thing, and then it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Worst of the best.
That's how it is.
Well, it depends.
I'm gonna go back and play I'm gonna, maybe I should go explore over here. It's like with Fallout 4, same sort of thing. Like look down, and be like, 3 hours have passed, and I've done nothing.
It's like that with me with Yakuza. It's like I'll go over and play darts, or I'll go do this or go do that, and it's like, oh yeah, I needed to go do this mission. Well, let me go over here and do it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Stardew Valley, you don't feel like you did nothing because every day you've done something. You're like, all right, I got all of my animals fed, and I got all my crops.
It's like Harvest Moon, right?
Harvested. Yeah, it's pretty much a Harvest Moon because the guy who made it was a big Harvest Moon fan, and it was like, they don't have this for PC. I'm going to make that by myself.
The original? Maybe I would like Stardew Valley. I've heard good things, not only from you, but from other people. So maybe it'll be, I should give it a gander. It's pretty cheap, right? $15 or $20?
20, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the first week it was out on PlayStation, it was 15, I think. That's what I bought it on PS4.
Yeah, I think usually it's 20 unless it's discounted for whatever reason. They're coming out with a retail collector's edition of it or something too, apparently.
A physical edition, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like $15 on Steam right now. You can get the soundtrack too.
Yeah.
The music is really good. It's got some great... it's kind of like Minecraft style music a little bit, as just the ambient kind of twinkly type. It's not quite as... it's not like chiptune, but it's very good.
Cool.
Let's see. Also, Assault and Sanctuary. I've been playing that some more as well. I got past the part I was stuck on, and so now it's suddenly, I have 3 or 4 places I can go. Imagine that. It's really, really cool, some of the stuff in that game. I'm wondering what they'll do when I get even deeper, because I've discovered the first of what they're calling brands, where I got some dudes like, hey, if you want this thing, let me stamp this symbol on the back of your hand or whatever. So when I got it, there's these little pillar things, like obelisk-looking things that are in a few different places in the levels that you've seen up to this point. And now I can interact with them, and it flips gravity upside down.
Oh, nice.
So you go into the ceiling, and then there's these other things that, turn it back to normal. So it's not like you can trigger it on or off. It's like you get to a certain spot, and you'll get knocked off. But the cool thing is you keep your momentum. So there's a couple spots where you're kind of running along the ceiling, you jump, and then fly around the edge, gravity gets flipped, and then you can land on the roof. It's kind of little trick jumps that to get to a cool little piece of loot over here. They're like, how in the world am I going to get up there? Now they have this new power thing. It's like, oh, hey, neat. I've killed a couple more bosses in the game than I had before when I'd been playing for a while. What else have I done? I'm trying to remember what I talked about before. It's definitely like the original Dark Souls, where there's a lot of shortcut gates and things to loop you back around to earlier levels. And so you're in one sanctuary and you have to go all the way around this way, but then you unlock this door and you can get over here really quick now. That kind of level design stuff, except it's 2D.
Nice. It looks really cool. I mean,
it's a really cool game. I like it.
I haven't had much time to play anything. I played a little of the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta last Friday night. I got home from Columbus late, and I got in it, so I'd already had it downloaded. And then I thought, well, let me play it, because I didn't know what was going on this weekend, if I would have any more time to play it. And it was okay. It wasn't as good as I'd hoped it would be.
Yeah, I haven't been hearing great things about it.
It's so much like Grand Theft Auto feeling. You just and I think the reason is you drive around everywhere. There's this huge map, and I mean they didn't give you a whole lot to play with, just one little section. But it's like, okay, here's your mission. You need to go over here and rescue this hostage. So you go outside the base, you hop into a Jeep, and you drive 10 minutes, listening to the radio. You know, you're listening to Spanish radio, and
Does it at least have Chatterbox?
I don't know. It is. Not really. I mean, they would stop every once in a while and have propaganda commercials about, you know, how we're bringing back the thing. It's like, what?
I doubt they're as good as the propaganda stuff from Just Cause games.
No.
Where they're justifying, like, oh, it wasn't someone who blew up that station up there. That was the government doing it because of something or other. They like to put a twist on all the actions that you do in that game. It's pretty funny.
Well, and then you go, you do your mission, you'd rescue your hostage, and then, like, the first one I left, and there was a helicopter standing there, or sitting there, and I was like, well, let me just hop in a helicopter and I'll fly back to base. Well, I hopped in and flew back to base. It all just felt very Grand Theft Auto-ish with a military theme pasted over it. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting out of it, but I guess I wasn't expecting anything out of it, but
Yeah.
it was, I don't know. After playing it, I'm like, well, it comes out the same month as Zelda does on the Switch, and the Switch will be out. I'll probably just pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that, you know, it makes you feel better that I didn't get into the beta then. So
Yeah. It looks like I had a couple friends playing it, and then some of the videos I've watched on it of just gameplay and people talking about it. It seems very much like a big, empty open world that has a lot of the same things that you will do over and over in it. And any fun that you'll get out of it is from playing co-op. If you try to play it by yourself, it won't be quite as much fun. But it's not like it's bad, it's just generic
Yeah.
and okay.
Well, and maybe that was it, because, you know, none of my friends had the beta, so I didn't have anybody to play with, and I didn't just play with random people. I like, you know, it was late, I was tired, I was like, I don't want to get in with a bunch of people and play, so.
There are some good things in there that I wish that more things would do, like the settings on PC, where you have all your different stuff that you can change. It has screenshots next to it that show you what it's actually changing when you're doing it, so you're not just guessing. I wish every game did that, because a lot of times you're like, I don't know what fiddling with this will do, you know. And it looks like it's got quite a bit of cool, like, customization for your character and weapons and stuff. So there's some good things in there, but other than just the actual, like, open world gameplay itself, just to me it looks like, yeah, you're running around shooting some stuff that you've done a billion times in a Far Cry or a GTA or whatever. It just happens to be out in some, you know, big wilderness map that's gigantic.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
It looks kind of pretty.
Yeah, I mean, the graphics are awesome. The view distance is great. It looks really good. And, you know, the night and day, and then the rain. You know, I was flying the helicopter, and all of a sudden a rainstorm blew in, and, you know, it was thunder and lightning, and then it got hard to fly the helicopter because the wind was blowing, and you had to. I mean, it was cool, but at the same time, it was like, man. But again, I don't know what I was. I guess I don't really know what I was expecting it to be, you know.
I'm getting a little bit of a vibe the same as The Division, but worse, whereas The Division at launch has a lot less in it than what it does now, that they've added a whole bunch of DLC and stuff, where The Division, though, is still really good, and you could at least get, you know, your money's worth out of it. I wonder if this one will or not. It seems a lot more generic than what the... Because The Division, at the very least, has a more interesting setting with a kind of post-apocalyptic rundown city that you don't see as much, whereas this is just a big wide-open map that you see in, like, a Far Cry or some other games that are sort of similar, not exactly, but...
Well, it was like one of my friends that I played, you know, Destiny and The Division with. He was like, "Well, what didn't you like about it? Did they division it up?" And I'm like, "No, if they'd divisioned it up, I would have actually liked it." Yeah, because I actually like The Division. I wish it was more open. I wish it was bigger than what it was. You know, that's what I was kind of hoping for.
What if instead of 4-player co-op, just that? What if it was more like what Red Dead had, where you have a bunch of people just roaming around, and then you could get into impromptu gun battles and all stuff. Like GTA now is even like the same, like that style of thing.
Yeah,
would make it more interesting.
And that was the thing that was weird about it. You saw nobody else If you were playing with the 4 or the 3 NPCs that you didn't see anybody else, you had to go back to your base and actually go into the queue to join up with people. So it wasn't like you saw 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 dozen people running around like you do in the Division. It's just
Okay.
I
It's
mean,
pretty much your
I
own
mean, it's a
game
different
role
kind
unless
of
you
game.
join up.
yeah.
This is more just a normal.
Do the worlds
open
feel
world
alive?
Sometimes
game.
it's like
if you're by a field of llamas.
yeah, if you're out, I mean, it's so widespread. It's so spread out, and there's nothing in between point A and point B. Sometimes you'd drive down the road, and cars would pass, and like bad guys would pass in the cars, and they wouldn't even notice you. Nothing would happen. Or you'd drive by a base, and they wouldn't pay any attention to you. Or they would have like a wall with a gate, and something you can just drive right through it, and nobody would pay any attention to you. Now, whether or not that's just, I mean, it is a beta, so I mean, maybe things are not quite as tuned as they will be when the game comes out. I don't know, but
It could be that it's, hopefully it's not that this is the game. Hopefully it's more like this is an old beta build. It's only
Yeah.
got a couple of the things that are actually in the game in it just so we can test it, but the full game will have more in it.
I hope.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Not this close.
I would doubt it.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
yeah, it
it's,
just depends on what build.
it's
Well,
what
the thing is their
3 weeks?
excuse all the time. But yeah, I doubt there's going to be much more in the game, if anything, than what was here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
this is basically an open world game that they slapped in 4-player co-op into.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what it was. I don't know. It's just it wasn't what I was hoping it would be. But I mean, if my buddies get it, I may get it when it goes on sale. But I'm not going to pay. I don't think I'm going to pay $60 for it. And I'm sure they'll have a season pass that they'll expect me to pay too. And I'll be like, probably not.
Yeah, there sure is.
Yeah. So,
This just proves that they need a 4-player at least co-op, a Just Cause game where it's way more over the top and you have grappling hooks.
oh yeah, yeah,
And lots of explosives.
yeah.
And just imagine how much hijinks you could get into when you have all those grappling hooks, your parachutes, and your wingsuit and all that stuff in the Just Cause games, but at least 4 people doing it all at once.
Yeah,
That's probably why they can't do it, because the game would just break.
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Did you ever try the multiplayer for Just Cause 3 at all?
I've
Did you
not
try
for 3.
Not 3.
I
no.
mean, for 2.
Well, 3 has one out now, too.
Really?
There's a mod for 3 that's out for multiplayer. Yeah, it's different people than did the one for 2, but they've done other multiplayer mods for other games, and it's out maybe a month ago. I can't remember when I saw that story go up. I haven't tried it, though.
I haven't either. I haven't tried it. That's only on PC though, isn't it? The mod. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do the mod anywhere else.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The only other thing I played while I was, sitting around was I did try a little bit of the Fire Emblem Heroes game on my phone. It's actually pretty good. It's really cool. It's easy to play. I didn't pay much attention to the story. I just kind of went lut, and then went, oh yeah, okay, now we can fight.
Fight.
It's pretty.
Click,
It's
click, click, click.
yeah,
I'm
pretty
good.
much. I don't need to read all this story crap. Just let me go through it, and I'll be good. It's just let me get to the tutorials and get through all that. So, but I mean, it's a fun game. You don't have to pay anything if you don't want to. So, it's free. So, I think the first day it made like $3 million or something. People would buy and stuff. So,
Jeez.
good for them.
Is all the stuff in that you buy for microtransactions like decorative, or is it actual gameplay stuff?
It's like I think it's to unlock. I really haven't looked at it. I think it's like to unlock or to pull characters, to join your party
Okay,
and stuff
cool,
like that.
cool.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right, that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, it's nothing that'll give you a huge edge in the game, but you can pull like heroes from the Fire Emblem universe that way, and you can earn the things to do it the same way as well. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun, it's cool. It's a time killer.
Yeah, good little time killer. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and it came out on Android too, so all you Android people don't have
all right. Gonna try that out then.
Yeah, it wasn't just on Apple first, not like Mario was. So
Right.
Dang that Mario.
yeah, and the only
Still not out.
the only other thing, yeah, it's still not out. Yeah, the only other thing that I haven't,
Dang that
I've
Fallout
started.
Shelter.
Well, yeah, good old Fallout.
Same
Shelter.
thing. Same thing. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
My wife's like, why do you want to use my phone? Like, play Fallout Shelter.
You don't have an Android phone? What do you got now? You have an
No,
Android
I
phone
haven't.
now.
I hadn't had. Well, remember it came out for iOS first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it did come out for. I forgot. I
So
forgot.
mad.
I thought that one came out. I thought that came out both at the same time.
It
I
was
forgot.
pretty close. I think it came to Android like a couple months afterwards.
Did it?
But
I don't
I
remember.
haven't played it in a while. But it's one of the ones where an example of I really want an Apple product.
I was going to say, as an Apple user, I don't always pay attention to, what comes out.
Exclusives.
Yeah, how it works. So. And the other thing I have done this week, I've had a lot of time to read, so I started reading Power Up. It's a book called Power Up. It's how Japanese video games saved the world, or gave the world an extra life, is what it's called. It's a new version of an old book that was written in I think it was written in 2002 or something like that.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, and it's all about how the fall of the video game industry in America and how Nintendo kind of formed in Japan and decided to make video games and then saved video games. So, and they have updated it with some new stuff. Not a ton of new stuff for 2016, but it's a really good book if you really want to find out how. How the Japanese video game market kind of took off and dominated, and how Nintendo kind of dominated in the 80s. It's a very, very interesting read.
Yep, it's by Chris Kohler.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
He's he's one of the editors or one of the writers for Wired. I guess he's still at Wired. I don't know if he is or not.
I can't remember.
I know he was at the time when he first wrote the book, and it has interviews with guys from Nintendo, guys from Namco, and other things like that. I mean, there was there's lots of interviews in it. Things. It's really interesting. I had listened to an interview not too long ago. I don't remember on what podcast it was with him, and it sounded like a really cool book, but it was out of print. It was not in digital format, so I couldn't find it anywhere at that time, and I think it just came out in like October or November, and I'd actually forgot about it, and it recommended it to me on my Kindle, and I was like, hey, I remember that book. I need to buy that book.
I was interested in the original copy, and I looked up on Amazon, and it was, before they re-released it, it was not cheap.
Yeah, it really wasn't, so. But it's $10 on Kindle. I think it's on sale right now, so, or you can buy it in paperback for like $11.75, but it was kind of convenient for me just to have it on my Kindle, so picked it up and read it, or been reading it. It's really good. So, Robert, have you not played anything this week? You've been too busy?
Well, yeah, I've been working like 13-hour days. I'm still in training at the new job. Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah.
What I have done is on my lunches, I started watching the cutscenes from various Kingdom Hearts games.
Oh, Lord.
trying to catch up on some of the story. I didn't remember all of 1, so I watched a little bit of the end of that one, and then I started Rechain Memories from the PS3 version.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of trying to prep for when they re-release 1.5 and 2.5 on the PS4. I'm going to finally go through and I think finish up Kingdom Hearts 2 and then watch some of the cutscenes. And my roommate has 2.8, so I might go through that one as well. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I want to make sure that I'm fully caught up before 3 happens.
How much? I mean, I've never played any. I mean, I played the first one, but I mean, this like 2.8, 2.5. What stuff does it add? Is it a whole different game, or is it just more add-ons?
Like 1.5 when it came out on the PS3, it's just a kind of a collection. It was like the final mix version of 1, so like the Japanese version. Like the international version, so they added in some extra side quests and some other boss fights and adjusted various parts of it, whether it's difficulty or, whatever. And then they added in the Chain of Memories, the Re-Chain of Memories, so the remake of Chain of Memories, which originally was a Game Boy Advance title,
right?
And then eventually ported to PS2 and then PS3 for 1.5. So it just took that, which was like a card-based battling system, and took out the sprites and put in 3D character models for the cutscenes and everything. And then it added in a video you could watch. I don't remember what that one was called, but it was to take place of one of the cell phone games, just to get you like the story for it. And then same thing with 2.5, it gave you the final mix version of 2. And then it let you play through the PSP game, which was called Birth by Sleep, I believe.
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah, that one was a prequel, so you can play through as 3 different characters in that one. That's another one that I'll probably watch the videos for. I don't think I'm going to play through all that. and then it gave you another video compilation for one of the other smaller titles, and now 2.8 is out, and that was Dream Drop Distance, so the 3DS game, and it actually looks surprisingly good on the PS4, like better than 1 or 2 did on the PS3 remakes. Very impressive remake for that one. And then that one actually added in, oh man, what do they call it? Birth by Sleep Point 2 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's confusing.
and another one called like Keyback Cover something. And I don't know, this is where it gets lost on me. One of those is a semi-sequel to the prequel, and one of those is a completely new storyline which should give you more background and bring you up to speed right before 3 starts, and that one's actually using the Kingdom Hearts 3 engine. So you kind of get a taste of what's to come.
I say, instead of doing all that, why didn't they just make 3?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand.
I saw some rumors the other day, I think yesterday, that said that 3 might be coming as early as March of next year, so 2018.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see.
As early as.
Yeah, as early as. But first, before it comes out, they will bring out Kingdom Hearts 2.99, which will have...
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how they can make 3.
I've
They
only
have to
ever
keep
played the
doing
second.
these.
Yeah.
I
The only
liked
way
it,
to fund
but
it.
just couldn't keep up.
I played the...
That I don't even think I followed what I was trying to tell everybody.
I even confused myself. I played the one on the PS2, which was the first one, and then I played some of the ones on the one on the PSP, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, why are you where's 3 at? Why are you doing these 1 point whatevers or yeah? And then it was just like, you know what, you lost me, and I don't care anymore.
I was so into it. Like I played 1 and I loved 1.
Yeah.
So then I jumped into Chain of Memories and I was like, I hate card games. So I didn't ever complete it. I was like, I'll just wait for 2.
Yeah.
And 2 comes out, and there was something about 2 that it just threw me off. Like it was too easy. I felt like I was just smashing X the whole time, and I had lost. Some of the story was lost on me because I didn't play Chain of Memories, and I was like, "You're telling me that this Game Boy game was important to the storyline? That's some bullcrap. Like I don't got time for all this."
Yeah, I don't know.
It just got really.
If it makes you feel any better, the first year I went to PAX South,
Yeah.
first year they had a panel. They tried to explain Kingdom Hearts, like the timeline, and I went in there because my friend went to it, and I had no idea. I just was
Their
lost.
titles don't at all.
What's going on?
I don't know. With all that time that they've spent with all these others, this and that, the spin-offs on the 3DS and the PSP and whatever, fine. I get that. I understand that you want to make, on every system, but my
you can't
gosh.
make them story centric like that.
No, you can't. Or if you're going to do that, then fine. When 3 comes out, just include a video on the disc that has all the stories from all the other ones. So you go, previously on these games, so you can get the backstory if you want it. I mean, I don't know. And like I say, they've totally just lost me on it. And when 3 comes out, I'm going to go, well, look, 3 came out. Oh well.
I mean, that's what's crazy is like I'm going through Chain of Memories, the GBA one, and I'm like, this has got like 2.5 hours of cutscenes. How do they do this on a GBA? It's kind of impressive, but man, I'm like halfway through that one, and
When 3 comes out, you'll be like, I'll wait till 3.5.
Yeah. Just tell me when 3.9 comes out or 3.8, and then we'll play it, which will be out on the PlayStation 6.
I kind of hope they wrap everything up with 3. Call it a day.
They've kind of just went there. So yeah, I don't know. Lost me years ago. Yeah, you're right. The first one was just awesome. I don't remember if I played the second one or not. I don't think I did, but I did play the first one. It was really good.
There were some really cool levels in the second one. There was just something about it. It felt really easy to me, and I was just like, that's not even worth my time. And here we are, 13 years later. I'm like, I should probably beat this game.
Yeah, 13 years is long enough, I think. 13 years. It's like a fine wine. It has to age.
Well, now that it's the final mix version, they did adjust the difficulty and added in all the things to make it better. So it's finally the game it should have been when it released the first time.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, if that's all you played, I mean, That's all you've done.
That's it. I mean, I still had Neo, the last chance demo suspended, so I played around with that for a few minutes.
Oh, did it still work? Okay,
Still
let's
lets
go.
you go.
It works. It still lets me play it. I can
That's
even connect to the internet and have people see that I'm online on it.
Weird.
Yeah, it's probably just that you can't boot it up again,
Yep,
but since you're
yep.
still in it.
I was like, I'll just play this a little
Yeah.
bit. I
Somewhere-
tried to
It's almost out now. You got a few more hours technically till it's
Right.
out, I guess, while we're recording.
Somewhere where there's a server or wherever it's at, there's a guy going, why can't we log this guy out? What is going on here?
I tried to
can't-
summon someone to my game, and it obviously didn't find anybody.
The game has been delayed because there are server issues.
There's one person.
Yeah, it's all Robert's fault.
Background.
Yeah, if it
You
gets
try to
delayed,
summon
it's
somebody
all-
and says, "Come on, man."
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into news. We don't have tons of news, but there are some pretty interesting things. There was an announcement this week that Elder Scrolls Online adds a Morrowind expansion. That was pretty cool. If anybody
is
plays Elder Scrolls, it kind of makes me want to play Elder Scrolls
Isn't it
Online.
supposed to be in time-wise before the Morrowind game? Did I read that right? I kind of read it quickly.
I don't know. I didn't read it that.
So like you'll have a lot of the major locations in Morrowind, but it's not like you're playing at the same time as the game. I don't remember which one's which.
Morrowind into it.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that sounds like it would be right. So that comes out June 6th. Yeah, 700 years before the
Yeah.
events of Elder Scrolls 3.
I mean, if any property is set up to have expansions MMO style, then Elder Scrolls is, because there's so many different areas to that world, and just look at a big map and you're like, okay, I could see. They don't even have to make it up as much because it already exists, at least in sort of map form or previous game form, unlike say World of Warcraft where they've had to make it up each time.
Right. Yeah, and I liked what little bit of Elder Scrolls Online I have played. I liked it. I've got it on PC and I just haven't played it in a while. I've got it when it was on sale one time. I got a copy for me and a copy for the wife. I thought maybe since it was free, she would play it. You know, she's always wanting to play World of Warcraft. I thought, well, here, let's try this. And she on PC, you use like the right and left buttons to like punch or do your thing, and she could never get used to it. She was frustrated because she was used to clicking this spell, clicking that, clicking this. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. You walk up and you got a staff and you go left, right, and you can hack back and forth. And she's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. So I never went back. And played it on PC. But I was like, well, I need to get it on PlayStation 4 and maybe play with some guys, some of my friends online that on PlayStation 4 that play it.
Gotta give them credit. They've done a good job of sticking with it. Where at first, when it first came out, it was like kind of a bit of. It had enough people jumping on it. There's like, ooh, an Elder Scrolls MMO, and then it died off fairly quickly. At least the buzz around it was like, oh, okay, it's not quite as cool as we thought it was. But then they keep, adding things and changing things around, and now they're adding this big old expansion to it. It's like, all right, well, it's doing pretty well, I guess.
Once they went free to play, it really helped. When they did the pay format, the monthly fee, a lot of people were kind of, we'll play it for a little while and then fade away.
I don't think Elder Scrolls was never a monthly fee, was it? I thought it was just you bought the game at the beginning and then you had it.
No, it
Or
was.
was it?
It used to be.
Oh, wait, no,
fee,
okay, I'm thinking of a different one. Yeah, I remember
because
now.
then they relaunched it as of the Tamariel edition or whatever, whatever they said. I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, it was. That's when I played it like first and went, it's pretty cool. Not going to pay $15 a month for it, but it's cool,
Yeah.
The PS4 4.50 update is out. Is anybody in that beta other than me?
Nope.
I signed up, but I haven't heard anything.
Oh, really?
And reading it, there's nothing in there that I really would be wanting to be like, oh man, I'm not in it. It's like, all right.
I'm glad you picked up that external hard drive.
That's the only thing that I was happy about with it. Everything else that was in it, I did not give two flying flips about.
So it's pretty much just like Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
I can run games off my external, no problem, right?
No problems that I've seen.
I spare
I
500
was interested
gigabytes.
in the 3D Blu-rays.
Yeah, I could see if I had a VR helmet, I would be interested in the 3D Blu-rays. If I had
And then I looked at my
Pro-
collection and noticed I didn't have any.
Oh, really? I
They're
have.
always separate. You have to buy them. They're more expensive.
You know what? I buy them all the time because a lot of the times that's the only way you can get Blu-ray, the Blu-ray and the digital copy and the DVD is you have to buy the 3D version.
You know, I'm getting really mad at buying these Blu-rays with digital copies. I'm going off on a little tangent here for a second.
Okay, go right
I
ahead.
finally decided to activate my code for Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, whatever they're calling it.
Uh-huh.
And it only activates on Flickster.
Yes.
I'm like, what is this trash? I
Well,
can't
it doesn't-
even put it on my Apple TV.
Nope.
I gotta. This is dumb.
Well, it's because
terrible.
yeah, it doesn't. It's not an iTunes one. It's an ultraviolet. So you have to use.
Well, I mean, some of
Vudu
my
or something.
ultraviolet ones let me move it to Voodoo, but it also gave me an iTunes option.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do that.
Oh
anymore.
man, so mad.
Yeah.
So mad right now.
I wish that Amazon would talk to all the other movie companies like they did with Disney. If I unlock Captain America or the Avengers on my Disney Anywhere account, it unlocks on anything. I have it on iTunes, I have it on Vudu, I have it on Amazon Prime, I have it
Right.
on all of them. And it's like, it's perfect because, you know, but it's not like that. It's the only ones that are like that. I'm like, man, why can't they get in with Warner Brothers, or why can't they get in with so and so and just do it
I
that way?
just want to have my collection in one spot. I don't want 1,000 apps.
Yeah, and if you're on Apple TV, it's even worse because like some of those apps aren't on Apple TV because they
Right.
want you to get it through iTunes. So
What I can do is I can stream it from my Flickster app on my phone to the Apple TV, but nobody wants to do that.
nope. And
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
that's why I really don't use my Apple TV much, to be honest with you. I just don't use it. Because
It's like the last straw for me. I'm just not going to buy Blu-rays anymore.
yeah, well, I still buy them, but but if you have an Apple, if you have a Fire TV, you can get Vudu on there. You can get this one on there, so I can get them other ways. But it's like,
Officially, or are you sideloading it?
no, I think it's official. There's something on there that lets me get ultraviolet movies. I've seen it. I
Really?
think it's Vudu. I
I
don't.
had to sideload Voodoo on when I still had a Fire Stick. I had to sideload it. I had to load it on my Kindle Fire tablet too.
I have to look through my
Because
movies.
it's not Flickster, because Flickster dropped the.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Maybe it's the Flickster movie app. Actually, there's
No.
that because Flickster split off and made that Flickster movie app. Maybe that's what I'm using on my Kindle tablet.
I thought Voodoo was on. I thought Voodoo was on there, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I have
It's a
Plex,
pain.
so a lot of the stuff with Plex, I just move it over to Plex and use it through there. So then it doesn't matter. But yes, I've got my external hard drive in today, 4 terabytes, and I moved everything from my internal PS4 to the external drive, which now I have about 2.5 terabytes on that on that 4. I mean, I had almost a terabyte and a half on there anyway. But yeah, it works great so far. I even attempted to just it's one of those hard drives that doesn't have an external power supply, so it gets it from the USB. So I thought, well, while it's in sleep mode, let me go over here and try on the computer to send something to it and see if it'll actually download. And it does. It kicks on, and I see the little light flashing on it, so it actually downloads to the hard drive. What's cool is when you plug it in and it formats it, it immediately sets the external as the default storage unit, which is nice. The one thing that I cannot figure out for the life of me is on that internal drive on my PS4, if you go under the what do they call it, the applications to see where all your games are installed, there is a 25 gig other that is on there that I cannot erase. I don't know what it is. It doesn't even let me highlight it to even see what it is. So I've got like a phantom almost 26 gigs being used by something on that hard drive, and I have no idea what it is.
Was it before or after you plugged it in to the PS4?
I don't know. I had so many games installed on there that I didn't notice if there was another in the list. But, I mean, that's the only thing that's in there now on that hard drive, other than my saves, are
Yeah.
this other. But I don't know what it is. It's really weird.
Random files of randomness.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I thought, well, I've watched a couple Blu-rays, but I don't think it's like, 25 gigs on there. But I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, I'm going to attempt to see if I can download everything on my PlayStation 4 account and have it all either on the all together. I only have 175 games on there, so we'll see. I'm going to say no. That 8 terabytes will not be enough, or not 8 terabytes. 5.5. I've got 5.5. I don't think 5.5 terabytes will be enough.
Eventually, you're going to run out of space.
Now the problem is you just can't find anything.
Well, yeah, that'll be the thing. It'll all be like, there's just too much. I can't find it all. But it is nice, though, to get those big games like my Assassin's Creed Syndicate with all the DLC is like 75 gigs, and so is Batman or Arkham Knight. It's like almost 80 gigs. So it's nice to get all that crap off of there onto an external.
Like Witcher 3 and all of its DLC is pretty big, and so is Fallout 4.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Sometimes the PlayStation Plus games are huge too. Like a couple months ago when NBA Live 2K17 was free, it's like a 40 gig download. I was like, whoa.
Well, what's bad is with all the games that we get, reviews for. And, some of those games are huge, and it's like I'll play them, review them, and then delete them off of there because it's like, well, I don't have room unless it's a game I really, really, really like or something like that, But yeah, it's like, but I'm glad they finally added it, and it works fantastic. I mean, it works perfect. It works just like Xbox, which is nice. If you've got a PlayStation 4 Pro, apparently they've added boost mode. It improves gameplay and higher frame rates for some games. I'm hearing that it's pretty good, but I don't have a PlayStation Pro. So.
Is it older PCs that have a turbo button?
I'm guessing.
Eh?
Sure.
Like, hey, I'm a turbo now. This is cool.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not really a whole lot it does. I think that's the big thing is the external hard drive support that everybody wanted. I mean, there's not a lot of quality of life things. They've moved some stuff around, and you can.
You mean custom wallpapers don't count as quality of life?
I don't know. I don't use wallpapers anyway. I just use the one thing. They did add some really cool new backgrounds. It's like I use it now. It's like a sparkly. If you look at the tweet that I put out with the picture of that weird other 25 gigabytes on there, it's just little balls of sparkly floating around, and when you move your dial, it looks like you peck the screen, and it goes. It's kind of cool. It's very soothing. And it's blue, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's no big. I was very excited for the external hard drive support from someone who has too many digital games, or too many games. Period.
And who likes to hoard them?
I do.
Like a dragon.
I really do. Last Guardian has a permanent price cut. It's dropped from 40 or 60 to 40, which is pretty good. I wonder why. Wonder what it's not selling well. Sold too well. I mean. It's kind of weird. It was just released in December, so to get a $30
give it a
price
shot.
cut. Yeah, I mean for $40, I was interested in it anyway. But a $20 price cut, this soon.
I think it's probably just based on the lack of buzz on that game after it came out and how long it's just been around, where people are just like, but at 40, you might get people saying, oh, well, okay, maybe now.
Yeah. That's
probably what it is.
Yeah. It looks like Sony's profits are down a little bit as a company. PS4
I mean, like always?
Yeah, like always. I mean, I don't even understand how Sony, a company, is still around, to be honest with you.
Holding on to that life preserver called PlayStation as tight as they can.
Yeah, I mean, they've really, things have really come up good for the PlayStation. That's really what.
It was like that in movies for a while, but now that's even less.
They don't make PCs anymore, right?
I don't think Sony makes PCs anymore.
The PCs were overpriced.
Yeah, they were. I know some people. I have a friend that he was Sony everything. He has to have a Sony TV, and when Sony came out with computers, he had to have a Sony computer because it was Sony. He's very brand loyal with things like that, like people are with Apple. And I never got it. I never understood it. It's like, whatever. They're overpriced HP PCs, pretty much, But, I mean, as far as PlayStation goes, they're doing pretty good. They saw a 5.2 increase in sales year to year. So hey, that's pretty good.
Maybe they have hands and pies in Japan that we don't know about.
You never know. Speaking of hands and pies in Japan, really weird. Anyway,
Wait a minute.
anyway, now that I say it out loud, I'm like, hang on. It looks like Nintendo again is selling 3DSs like crazy. The Amiibos have been selling like hotcakes too. 6.5 million Amiibo figures and 6.6 million Amiibo cards were sold in a 9-month period from April to December in 2016. That is a whole lot of plastic figures and paper cards. That's a lot.
And those 3DSs that they had come out around Black Friday, those things sold out like crazy. Now on the secondary market, they're super expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nuts. And every once in a while, they trickle up on Amazon for like $99. It's really weird. I saw them the other day.
So I'm going to have to set up an alert.
Yeah, I would.
Black one.
Apparently, 3DS sold 6.45 million units compared to the year before. So that's that's a lot of 3DSs. It will be interesting to see what kind of impact the Switch has on the 3DS sales. I mean, they still say they're going to keep those two things separate, but I
think that keeping the 3DS is both dumb and smart at the same time. It's smart because they're still selling a lot of them, but it's dumb because it's going to kill the Switch. A lot of people who might get, well, I've got my 3DS still, I'm not sure I want to Switch yet, or especially if they're looking at it for more mobile than they are home console, then that will bite into this potential sales that the Switch could have, especially also just for making games too, because they can't make as many games for the Switch because they're still making them for 3DS.
That's
so I don't know.
The smartest, dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't know.
It's like a no-win situation for Nintendo too, because they still sell a whole bunch of 3DS, so it's not like that console is dead, so they can just cut it off. They still make quite a bit of money from that and selling games on that, but for the Switch to succeed, it needs games, and if you can't make enough games for it because you're still making it for the 3DS, it's kind of like fighting yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really, really weird. It's I don't know. I don't see and I read rumors the other day that Nintendo's already thinking about the 3DS successor. I'm like,
I read those, and it made me lose so much faith in the Switch. Like I don't even think I want it anymore.
Yeah, I still want it. I'm still going to get it. I'm still going to play my Zelda and enjoy it. But I don't know. I
was so excited for the prospect of, all the franchises finally being like unified on one console, and this just throws it out of the water.
It seems to me that Nintendo is thinking of the Switch as a home console that you happen to be able to take with you portably, whereas most people would want it the opposite, where it's a portable thing that I can put into my TV too.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's going to be more of a a TV than a home console more than a portable console. I'm not probably going to be the one taking it out unless I go on a business trip or something like that. It's going to be a home console that I'm going to play in the home on the TV, or I'm going to set in the home on the couch while we're watching TV, playing it on my on the couch with the screen. To me, it's the 3DS is a totally different thing, and I'm fine with that. I'd rather have a dedicated portable Nintendo system and a home Nintendo system. But with them trying to mesh the two together, I don't know. I can't say if I think it's going to fail or not. It's to me they're doing everything right. They're spreading out all their good franchises over a period of a couple months. You look at how I was talking with one of the guys the other day. You could see how Zelda comes out this month. 2 or 3 months later is another game, and 2 or 3 months later is another game. And
they're staggering their releases.
They're staggering it. Well, yeah, it's good. They're not spreading them out like this year is Zelda, next year is Mario, and next year is this one. They're putting them closer together, and hopefully there'll be enough.
But what are they going to have next year?
Well, that's true, but we still got E3 to find out about that. Nobody's worried about next year at this point. Everybody's looking at this year. Holiday. That's what everybody's working towards. They're not. Next year will come. they'll have more stuff next year. Who knows what they'll have next year? I mean, they've still got Metroid, they've still got Super Smash Brothers, they've still got.
Yeah, but they haven't done Metroid in forever, so I wouldn't bank on that. Plus, it's not really a system seller like a Mario or Zelda is.
No, and that's why they have Mario and Zelda coming out this year. I mean, and
I can't see them releasing another Smash unless it's just the up-res version.
It could be, but I don't know. They're
going to do a Smash Brothers, the same thing that they've done with the Mario Kart, and that here's the deluxe Super Edition that has all the DLC and a couple new things in it too. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and that's fine. People will buy it in droves because that's it sells. That's what it happens. Mario Kart will sell a bazillion copies of it when it comes out. I don't know. I'm all right with it so far.
I think the one thing it does have going for it for those is that not very many people bought Wii U's.
Yeah.
So I think the Switch will probably sell more than what the Wii U did.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of people in there like, oh, that game looked cool. I'll play it. Sure, it's new to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too.
That's what they got to hope for,
Yeah.
Because otherwise they ain't gonna sell anything. Because if everyone sees it as like, oh, this is an old game, I don't want it, then they're not gonna sell any copies because that's half the stuff they're putting out so far.
Exactly. And and from what I read an article the other day that said it's very easy for companies to port games from PC to Switch. So if it's easy to do that, you're probably going to get a lot of games. You don't think so?
Nope. Not right away. It will
not
take
right
at
away.
least a year,
Right.
maybe two, before any of that goes up, and then that's way too late for Nintendo. It's a catch-22 of there's no games, but having no games means there won't be more games later because it's all tied together. I just think that we can thank the Wii U for the Switch if it fails.
Yeah.
Because that killed so much of the kind of benefit of the doubt for Nintendo that people used to have, where people were being a lot more hesitant for this one, even though it's like, yeah, it looks like a cool piece of hardware, but I need stuff to use it with,
Right.
And so far they haven't really proven that they have that. I think if they had not painted themselves into a corner of putting it out now and they waited to put it out in the fall and they had all of the stuff from this year was coming out all at once, then we'd be like, whoa, this is the craziest launch ever. Look at all these strong things. But because it's spread out, even though technically you're still not waiting very long, you still have to wait some.
Yeah, but do you think they could have waited till fall? So many people that didn't
They
like
should have, I think, because none of the stuff is ready. The online system isn't ready, so they can't talk about it. So that's kind of a big negative now. It's like, well, what is that thing? We don't know what it is, because Nintendo doesn't know what it is either, and they haven't really had a strong online system yet, so we really want to know what is it. And it's nothing right now.
Right.
So if they had waited till a lot more of the things were ready, then I think that would have been good. But the only reason they didn't is Zelda. They have to put Zelda out, and because they're putting it on Wii U, they didn't want to put it on Wii U and then have it out on the Switch way later. I think that's probably why that they are going ahead and pushing it out now rather than waiting. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out.
It's got a lot of potential. I don't want it to fail, but I'm just like, they're doing a whole bunch of things where they're tripping themselves up a little bit, and it's like a little thing here and a little thing there that kind of is hopefully going to not pile on each other, but it looks like it is a little bit, at least to start with. Now maybe it'll be like 3DS where it didn't have such a good start, but then they fix things and then suddenly they're selling tons and tons of them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be. I mean, a lot of it's going to depend on, that they have enough for launch. I mean, not just pre-orders, they have extra. I mean, I hear they're ramping up production, so there may be maybe the week of launch you will be able to get one if you didn't pre-order one day one. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see. To me, it's a good time of the year for it to come out, I think, because there's not a lot in March to contend with. There's not a lot in the late.
Are you kidding?
Winter. I don't think so. There's nothing that I'm looking forward
Mass
to.
Effect in March, man.
Man, I am not looking forward to that game at all. I'm not.
I am,
and
man.
I love Mass Effect.
I still want that game. Then at the very end of, the very, very end of February has Horizon Zero Dawn that I'm really looking forward to
that
as well.
one looks really cool. But, I mean, to me, that's...
You've got... We talked about it earlier, you didn't like it, but the Ghost Recon is coming out in March. a couple other things. So it's not like it's completely empty.
I'm not
There's no
saying
hardware
that.
though. So yeah, and also Nintendo is its own thing. So it's not like they're
Right.
competing with we have similar games, which I think is another reason why it will hurt them, because I don't know, they just seem like they're from a different era, and the gaming industry has kind of left them behind a little bit. And all the young kids want their PS4s or their Xboxes to play all their shooters or this or that, and they don't have that on Nintendo.
I think you nailed it right in the head, and I think that's why I like Nintendo so much. Is they're not in this era. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, I love Nintendo. They've got some cool stuff. They've got something different to offer than everybody else, but I think that it also, because they don't have any overlap, then that doesn't help to pull anybody in who didn't grow up with Nintendo or anything. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm of the feeling that well, and I've said it before on here. I like my Switch. I like my Wii U. I played my Wii U last year more than I played any other console, and I'm okay with that. It's because I had fun. That's.
There's nothing wrong with Nintendo,
No.
and I think that they're right to not try and do the exact same thing as Microsoft or Sony, because they're just way behind on that, so they definitely have to do something different. But whether it comes from them or somebody else, there's got to be games for your system, otherwise there's nothing to play.
I hope they do play catch up in the online area and get their make it easy to join like multiplayer games and stuff like that. And make it,
Or even though it's kind of dumb, it doesn't really mean anything, think about playing a bunch of Nintendo games with achievements.
Yeah. Achievements.
Or
are
even
awesome.
like old ones, like get a lot of your virtual console games and play like Super Mario World and get achievements for getting all these different secret areas and stars and all that stuff in that game.
Yeah.
Or any other like old classic Nintendo game, of which there are millions.
Yeah.
I would get so many people buying them all over again, and you wouldn't even be complaining as much about buying it for the 15th time, because achievements. There's so many people who like hunting
Oh,
trophies
yeah.
and achievements and stuff out there. That would just be a big seller right there, but we don't even know that's something Nintendo's going to have. Who knows?
Well, I always think it'd be cool if they had like some sort of online subscription. Other people have talked about this. Some sort of online subscription service where you pay a monthly fee and you get access to hundreds of their classic games. That would be awesome, and I would totally.
What do I sell?
Yeah, but I don't know. Nintendo just doesn't do stuff like
Yep.
that.
They just do their own thing.
And
which-
but they don't have to, because they could say, here is the 1983 version of Super Mario Brothers on the Virtual Console for $7, and everybody in the world they'll sell hundreds of thousands of millions of them,
even though they've probably already bought it.
even though they
before,
own
at least
it on.
once.
Yeah, I mean,
I think so. I think that time is dwindling. Kind of like, say, we talk about Call of Duty, where it's not doing as well, but it's still selling quite a bit, but it is on the decline. And I think that so many times Nintendo has had you buy your virtual console games, and they don't transfer from system to system,
Right.
that people are starting to get a little bit more tired of it. So they're not going to be running out to jump and buy every single thing. There might be one or two favorite games that they're like, well, I want to play it. Why not? It's only $5, but you won't be buying everything out there either.
yeah.
If you'll even be able to, who knows? We don't know yet.
Yeah,
'cause
they
Nintendo
haven't-
hasn't said anything on it.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about the Virtual Console. I know they had when the Wii to the Wii U, you could transfer them over, pay $1 or whatever, depending on the
Yeah.
games, and get your games. So, I don't know.
I know
Go
if I was going to be using it as a mobile system, it'd be great to have a lot of those old net
yeah.
games on the go somewhere. That would be cool. But we just don't know yet.
Yeah, no. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. But the whole reason I said something about the Switch was Nintendo says they will add VR to the Switch if they can solve one problem.
How about the other problem of, can the Switch even do VR?
Yeah, it is not. It's not primed for that.
I don't know. I wouldn't see why it would be any different than using a cell phone for VR. As far as
The cell phone
Because the
VR
cell
is
phone is
not
more
on the.
powerful.
Yeah,
right, but I mean, it's still essentially the same
And
thing. You just drop it.
It
into
has a better screen, so it's not like you can use it as the screen, because those phones have way better screens than what the Switch has,
right.
like resolution wise. And I don't know, you could maybe do some, but the VR is going to be very, very primitive graphics running off of the Switch, because it just doesn't have the horsepower to keep the frame rate up so that people don't get sick.
Right. That's the big thing, which I don't care about VR anyway, but I thought it was interesting because, I mean, pretty much all I would see is you just buy a VR helmet or glasses, whatever you want to say, and you just drop the screen in it like you do the
Nope.
thing. You don't think
Can't
so?
do it. Nope. That's why you need the higher resolutions, because you're literally splitting it in half. So you split 720p in half, that's going to look really, really trashy.
No, that's true.
Sorry, I have this vision of
Worse
someone
than an
dying.
old CRT.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why VR needs the horsepower, is you're rendering two things at once and outputting so many pixels at a high frame rate that requires a little bit of processing power.
Yeah. Well, they had said that they have researched it and it has the core technology, but they want to release something that can play for long periods and carries value and is affordable. So, plus, I mean, I don't know if there's really a demand for VR anyway at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a demand for it on Nintendo without some sort of a killer app for it,
Right.
and there's not even a demand elsewhere, because there's still, in all the different places VR has shown up, there's not one thing that everybody's rallied around yet. There's been a lot of little things that's like, ooh, that's kind of cool, but
Oh man, we can milk cows in 1-2 Switch VR.
Yeah, exactly. But we were talking. We were talking about the online for the Switch. There was a tweet on that came across on Twitter by Nintendo's president that indicated that in a Japanese publication that the online service would cost 2,000 to 3,000 yen annually. That translates roughly to $17 to $26 American, or $13 to $20 American. So
It's pretty
it's not too
good.
bad.
yeah, I mean, if it's $20
If
a
there's
year,
anything to it,
right? Yeah, if
Because
it's
you're still paying for something, there better be something there.
right. Yeah, it all depends on how it's going to set up. But for $20, if it is $20, I'm all right with that. I would pay that. That would be okay. $20 would be more than affordable in my book for
I definitely
online
think
services.
that a smaller price point than what you pay for PSN or Xbox Live is definitely a good thing, because of just how young it is, because they haven't really done this ever, so it's probably not going to have all the features you'd be used to elsewhere, and what's there, who knows how well it works, but paying less for it will take a little bit of the sting out of it.
Yeah. And there's a little news on Star Wars Battlefront 2. Big surprise, coming out holiday is when they're attempting to release. They're hoping to release it, which would make sense with the new Star Wars
Yeah,
movie.
we've
coming
actually
out.
kind of known that for a while.
Yeah.
Rumor-wise, is that's when it's going to be coming.
Yeah, and they've added they're going to have a single player campaign, which will be kind of cool. And they'll have more heroes, more characters, than the original game did and stuff like that. I actually enjoyed the original game on the PlayStation. I think I played it on PlayStation 4 is what I've got it on, but I also have it on Xbox with the EA access. So, but it's a pretty fun game. It's fun to play. I like it. I like it a lot. So more of it, better. It's better in my book.
Yeah, I mean, they were not going to not put a Star Wars game out on Star Wars movie year. Where you
Right.
have the main Star Wars movies, you got to try and capitalize on it at least for the first couple times.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm hoping we find out when other ones will come though, because Battlefront, cool or not, I want a different kind of Star Wars game. I want to see what all these ones that they've been teasing for forever. What are they?
I do too. I want to see what those two. So, well, I guess we'll find out E3 when where EA has their own little press conference thing, and they'll show us more behind the scenes looks at some of the games. Hopefully they'll.
You mean they're
actually-
going to have some videos of people in studios saying, "Hey, it's cool to work on a Star Wars game, right?"
Yeah, we can't tell you anything about it, but we could show you these drawings of it. It's like,
But you did the same thing the year before. Come on, they better show stuff this year.
Yeah, they
their
really
conference has been so bad the last 2 or 3 years, to where it just hasn't shown much of anything.
it's been so bad that I have not watched it because it's just so hard to sit there and watch. That,
I watched it last year for Battlefield 1 because that was kind of the first big, reveal of the whole. They had their whole match thing, but it wasn't at their actual conference. It was afterwards. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't even that. So I had posted on Twitter that if you wanted to join us in the chat room on the Twitch, we were live streaming it, which we do every time we record. We live stream it. We try to do it on.
Now we do.
Yeah, now we do.
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing. This is our third time. So if you have questions,
Second regular show, yeah. Third time.
Third time we did I forgot we did the Nintendo show or the Nintendo Switch thing. So, but it counted as an episode. So anyway. But, so we asked if anybody wanted to ask any questions to come to the chat room and ask questions. And I know Spinner sent a message in just in case he wasn't going to be here. Since the Super Bowl was last night, which is why we didn't record last night. I didn't figure anybody would show up because of the Super Bowl. Plus, it ended up going longer than about the time we would have recorded anyway. So, but anyhow, they wanted to know what our favorite sports games were. Mine was an easy one. Mine's NFL 2K5. I still play that game usually over Madden, and I play it on the original Xbox. I absolutely love that game. There's a huge community still behind it. You can actually download roster updates for it for year to year and upload them, so you can play with current rosters, even though the graphics and the ESPN and the names and stuff, all the extra stuff with it's kind of out of date. But yeah, you can there's still a huge community behind it to play. So it's pretty cool. Eric, what's yours?
Oh, I have so many. I was thinking about this. I'm gonna have to it's like a 3-way tie. I will say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD because I've always really liked Tony Hawk, and especially that game.
The HD one,
not the original.
All right.
Okay,
I like it.
I like the second one better than I like the first one.
Yeah, I mean, with HD you get a little bit of each.
You guys are all wrong.
Thank
you very much.
What you like? The third one?
I'm just trying to think.
Yes,
of what
the third one.
The third one on PlayStation.
I played the second one on Dreamcast. So.
I like NBA Jam for the Wii. It's a good game. Still play that a lot. It's very fun. Any NBA Jam. And I'm going to have to say that I really like NFL Blitz. I was really thinking about playing that series again. Either getting it for Dreamcast or N64. I like it. I know it's not a very realistic sports game, but it's fun. Just play it and screw around in it.
Yeah. I like that one. Robert, what's yours besides Tony Hawk 3?
Well, I got two honorable mentions, so I'm going to start with those. We already mentioned Tony Hawk. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, obviously.
On PlayStation.
It's the first complete Tony Hawk game. The second one added in the manuals, and then the third one added the revert, so it completed everything.
I mean,
so you could finally have your one long combo for the entire run.
I mean, duh.
Obviously. The other honorable mention for me, taking it way back to the NES, Super Dodgeball by Tecmo.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good
one. Me and my brother would play that thing for hours. Man, he always kicked my butt, but I'm sure. So my favorite one of all time is the original SSX on PS2. Launch game for PS2. It's fantastic.
All right, we're gonna have similar
I've never
descriptions for SSX here because your Tony Hawk is the complete one. The original SSX not as good as later SSX games.
Beg to differ.
Man, here we go. All right.
I didn't even take On Tour over the first SSX.
Well, get out of here.
Crazy choice. I don't know.
Them be fighting words.
I don't play many just regular sports games ever. Just a little bit of older Madden ones here or there at a friend's house. It's all more of the arcadey type stuff. So I put NFL Blitz on mine. SSX 3 is the one I chose, although it would probably tie with Tricky. Both of those games are great. But 3 had the kind of connected track, so as you got deeper into the game, the track, so you'd be moving up the mountain, so you can go down all the way to the bottom if you wanted to, which was kind of cool at the time because it was something newer. Now that type of thing would just be whatever, open world, woo, 8 billion other games. I also put Rocket League on there because Rocket League is amazing and it's totally a sports game because there's ball in it.
Yep, it totally is.
And cars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally a sports game. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean that's all it is a sports game. You can even play hockey in it or basketball now, so you got all sorts of sports in that one game. Honorable mention that I just thought of when you were talking about stuff is I never had it, but a friend had the NES track and field game with the like the little mat on the floor.
Oh, the power pad.
So
Yeah.
you'd never
That
run on
pad
it. You'd always
was
get on the
trash.
floor, pound it with your hands, just so
Yeah.
you could run really fast. And
That's-
that's the only reason I remember it, because
Yeah,
I
we
played it
never
like
ran.
probably twice ever.
Nobody ever played that game properly.
No, you just, like you said, you just sat on the floor on your knees with your hands and you just went, yeah, I can run real fast. Yeah, it's like, I don't need exercise. I can exercise my arms.
I'm sure there's some stuff I'm forgetting, but I did like the skate games too. Those were pretty fun.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I like
But
those.
mostly those I played just to see how many broken bones I could get on the weird X-ray thingy that they did.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
The
about
skate
that.
games where it's like you would crash and ragdoll and it would show you how many bones you broke at the end.
I totally forgot about that, but you're totally
It's the
right.
best feature from those games, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the only other sports games, I guess you'd call them sports games. I'm a big Forza fan. I like racing. I like those Forza games. But
Oh, if we're doing that, then I'm gonna go Burnout Paradise, man.
oh yeah, Burnout Paradise is awesome.
That can be my sports game because
Sure.
that's the one I play the most out of any of these.
Yeah. Super Techno Bowl was always a good one. I always liked Techno Bowl on the old NES. Did you ever play on Genesis? Did you ever play Joe Montana football?
Yeah,
With
absolutely.
with the sports talk football.
God, I hated that
I
game.
actually have that. Somebody gave it to me for free.
Oh,
so
I love that
fired it
game.
up.
Did you know? And I know a lot of people probably didn't realize this, but if you read the Console Wars novel that we were talking about, that Joe Montana football was nothing but Sega bought the engine in the Madden game off of them, and they just modified it to make it look a little different. But it's pretty much Madden football. It's the exact same thing. I mean, and
That's
the engine.
crazy.
They just changed the graphics a little bit to make it look, but it is Madden football. But they just added the sports talk to it. So that's how they needed to get the first. Well, the first Joe Montana wasn't sports talk, but they needed a football game. They had Joe Montana, so they needed it quick. And they didn't have the money or the time to produce an actual game, so they just bought the Madden football that year and put a new skin on it real quick. So I always thought that was real interesting. It was like it's the exact same thing. So if you bought that first Joe Montana football and you bought Madden and you were like, I don't like Joe Montana football, I like Madden better, you were playing the exact same game, you just didn't know it.
Nice.
The
Yeah.
things that you get away with back then.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, so thanks Spinner for the question. We always like questions. So yeah, if you're listening and you're like, man, I'd like to get in on the questions and stuff like that, hop in the chat room. You know, we always follow us on Twitter. We try to record on Sunday nights, but this week we recorded on Monday night because of the big sports ball event. So. But you can join us on Twitch and come hang out and talk about video games. That's what we like to do. So,
Yep. Talking about video games.
all right. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else anybody wants to add to the conversation? Or
Ooh,
Huh?
big quick announcement. I will
okay.
be at PAX East in Boston this year in March. So if you're there, look me up.
What week is that?
Second weekend in March.
Second weekend.
10th and through the 12th, I think.
I would like to go, but man, the past couple of years, the weather has been so crappy around that time of year.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
gonna go prepared.
well, as long as they don't start canceling flights, it should be all right. I'd like to go to PAX East one time. They're doing the PAX. I don't remember what it was.
board game one.
The board game one. I thought about maybe Philadelphia's. Yeah,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia's. Well, it's in Pennsylvania. Philadelphia's only about 7 hours away, so I could actually maybe go to that.
That's in November.
Yeah, it's right around Christmas break. See, around here or Thanksgiving break. They get a week off. Teachers get a week off here for Thanksgiving. So
All right.
we may try to go up to it. I don't know, but like I say, I would like to go to PAX East. It's still a 12-hour drive from here, but I don't know. It's just that time of year. It's just kind of rough because they could have a foot of snow and.
Or it could be like the one year I went and it was like in the 50s the entire
Yeah,
time.
I mean, it could go either way. The way the winter's been this year, it may not be bad. So,
Yeah.
but All right, cool. Well, I think we're going to call that a show. Thank you guys for showing
Sounds
up
good.
in the chat room. We appreciate you guys stopping by. And like I say, if you want to join us live while we record and hang out with us and join in the conversation, just follow us on Twitter, GL_podcast. Or you could just go to the Gamers Lounge Twitch channel and just sign up and subscribe there. And then you'll get a nice little email every time that we go live with something. So you all know. So. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next week.
We
See
love
ya.
you.